Before the pain, before the silence, before the cold funeral plan, there was love. Or at least, what looked like it. Tamara met Charles at a youth seminar in Lagos. He was one of the speakers, smart, confident, with a voice that commanded attention. She sat in the second row, eyes fixed, not because of his words, but the way he said them, with fire. After the session, he approached her. "You took a lot of notes," he said with a smile. "And you talk a lot," she replied, laughing. That moment sparked a whirlwind romance. They talked late into the night, shared dreams over suya and malt, and made promises under the stars. Charles said, "I don't want a loud girl. I want peace, someone calm. Like you." She blushed, thinking he meant it as a compliment. She didn't know then that it was the first sign. A year later, he proposed under a mango tree in her family's compound. She said yes. And just like that, they began their journey as husband and wife. But fairy tales, in real life, don't always make it to the last page. Tamara was only 26 when she married Charles. Beautiful, dedicated, and gentle, she thought she had found her forever. Charles was charming, a banker with ambition, and he made her laugh until the wedding ring slid onto her finger. From the moment she was introduced to his mother, Mama Charles, the tension was thick. She smiled at Tamara with tight lips and cold eyes. The family whispered behind her back. "She's too quiet, she doesn't greet well, her people didn't bring enough gifts." Still, Tamara stayed polite. She tried. She cooked. She visited. She bent herself in half to fit into their mold. But no matter what she did, it was never enough. Soon, the disrespect came boldly. Charles's mother began entering their home uninvited. She criticized Amara's cooking, insulted her clothes, and once, even slapped her for serving cold stew. Charles said nothing. He would shrug and say, "You know how African mothers are," as if pain had culture. Charles's sisters accused her of controlling their brother. His cousins mocked her for not being pregnant fast enough. Amara cried silently in bathrooms, behind locked doors, wiping her tears before dinner was served. Charles began coming home late, sometimes drunk. When Amara questioned him, he would lash out. "Do you feed me? Do you pay rent? You should be grateful I married you." Gratitude. For marrying her. Tamara no longer recognized herself. She packed her bags once. Just once. After a terrible night, Charles had slapped her so hard her eardrum rang for days. She went to her parents' house. But her mother cried and begged her, "You want people to say our daughter couldn't stay in her husband's house." Her father said, "It's not good for a woman to walk away. Endure, Amara. That's what marriage is." So she went back. Back into the fire. But something in her shifted that day. The first seed was planted, not of rebellion, but of release. She started saving money secretly. She got a small tailoring job from home. She began to withdraw emotionally, spiritually, mentally, from everything and everyone. The day her doctor told her she had advanced ovarian cancer, she didn't cry. She walked home silently, breathing the dusty Harmattan air, and opened her small wooden box under the bed. Inside, 275,000 Nigerian nairas, the diary, and a funeral brochure. Tamara didn't tell Charles. She knew what would happen if she did. Pity masked as anger, regret faked with flowers. Instead, she made calls. She picked out her casket, a simple white one with lilac lining. She chose her burial cloth, a deep wine lace she had sewn herself. She selected a photo for her obituary, one where she actually looked happy. She wrote letters. One for her sister. One for her childhood friend. And one for her unborn child, the one that never came. She also wrote a will. And a letter to Charles and his family. It wasn't angry. It was honest. I forgive you. But I will no longer give you the power to bury me in silence. I've already prepared my goodbye. She started getting weaker. Charles noticed, but barely asked questions. Are you sick or something? You look thinner, he muttered one evening, eyes on his phone. I'm fine, she lied, gently folding her burial dress into a box labeled, "Don't open until it's time." Her sister, Chioma, was the only one who knew the truth. Together, they finalized arrangements. Tamara didn't want a church service. She wanted soft music, no wailing, and a note to be read out loud. In life, I was quiet. In death, let me speak. The day before she died, she smiled for the first time in a long time. Chioma, promise me you'll make sure they don't turn my burial into a show. Chioma nodded through tears. And in the early hours of a Tuesday, Tamara slipped away, peacefully, silently, and on her own term. When Charles and his family arrived at the burial ground, they were stunned. Everything was already arranged. Her obituary, printed with a note, this was written by the deceased herself. Her casket, already paid for. Her clothes. Her playlist. Her final letter, framed at the entrance. And people, real people, came. Her old students. Her neighbors. The woman she helped escape an abusive marriage. People whose lives she had touched quietly. Then the letter was read aloud. To the ones who hurt me, thank you. You taught me that sometimes, letting go is the greatest freedom. You will not control the narrative of my life, or my death. I was here. I mattered. I live with peace, not pain. There was no dramatic crying. Just silence. Charles wept. For the first time, maybe from guilt. Maybe from the shock of being erased from her ending. Tamara didn't die a victim. She died with dignity. She planned the one moment in her life that couldn't be controlled by others, her farewell. And through that, she spoke louder than she ever had while alive. Let her story be a reminder. That silence is not weakness. That peace is sometimes the loudest rebellion. And that even in death, we can choose truth.